allá donde fueres, haz lo que vieres. In other words, when in Mexico, do as the Mexicans do. That simply was my philosophy during this experience, to plunge headfirst into Mexican culture, soaking in as much of this not so far away land as humanly possible during our short 3-week excursion. One of the most fascinating parts of this trip was simply the unique perspective with which we were able to learn and grow, both as curious students and as proud future Aggie teachers. From the unfamiliar foods I tasted to the spectacular landscapes I beheld, from the deep-rooted and long-lasting friendships that sprouted and blossomed, to the incomprehensible joy I experienced working with the Emiliano Zapata students. Certainly, the study abroad taught me how to best manage a multicultural classroom, but beyond that, I also learned what it means to break down language boundaries through love, what it means for educators to truly be united in their shared passion for watching the world learn. And I learned what it means to let go of schedules, technology crutches, and being in control in order to simply live fully, moment by moment. The people and culture of Mexico will occupy a very special place in my heart forevermore. Undoubtedly, one of the most impactful parts of the trip was my homestay with Beth in Querétaro. While living with our host mama of nearly 2 decades of hosting experience, Sara, and our host brother Mauricio, the old tired cliche, nuestra casa es su casa, took on a whole new meaning. During our days in Querétaro, we had the pleasure of learning about the city's rich history, which is comprised of countless insurgencies and revolutions in the name of equality and justice. In the evenings, Mauricio and his friends would take Beth and me out on the town. I loved being able to explore the city not just as a tourist or a student, but also as a sister and a friend of the locals. Catching a glimpse of Mexico's spirited past helped me to understand why people like Sara and Mauricio are proud to host students like us year after year. They're honored to be playing a role in informing others about the resilience and drive of the Mexican people, which is evident both throughout history and today. The relationships that were forged on this trip are, without a doubt, another highlight of my experience in Mexico. Don't get me wrong, working with groups or being constantly in the presence of other people was not always easy for me, an only child who is revitalized by spending time in solitude. However, I truly came to appreciate the beautiful rarity that is witnessing like-minded individuals working together to accomplish something phenomenal. In this case, we were able to express love and consideration through education. While some moments with the team were pure hilarity and others pure frustration, I feel far more prepared to face the dreaded group projects of junior methods and beyond. Even in the midst of the tougher moments, the magnificent thing about being continually surrounded by fellow teachers is that we all share the same mindset in regards to our students. We want to use our zeal for teaching to build up the next generation of lifelong learners. One thing I love about traveling is the sense of free-spiritedness that often accompanies being out of one's comfort zone. In Mexico, I quickly learned that flexibility, a positive attitude, and frankly, being up for anything, are the keys to making unforgettable, once-in-a-lifetime memories each and every day. For example, despite the blistering heat and blistering feet, we spent hours exploring the avenues of San Miguel. Just seeing the extravagant parroquia made the sunburns and sore feet worthwhile. We sang karaoke at a restaurant bar named Mamma Mia. We slow danced in the plaza to Frank Sinatra's My Way, as performed by Mariachi Los Reyes. We trekked to the top of an ancient Aztec pyramid and gazed down at the ant-sized people below. We learned how to make our own copper jewelry, and then we got hopelessly drenched in an unforeseen and very chilly thunderstorm. We sang and danced along to a Beatles cover band. We took a little risk and bought hamburgers from a street cart, which turned out to be my favorite meal of the entire excursion. And most significantly of all, we watched the sun rise over the mountains and got a 2,000-foot aerial view of the city, all from within a wicker basket tied to a gigantic nylon balloon. Although it was often stressful to feel in the dark about our plans for the day, embracing my inner adaptability, a vital skill for teachers, allowed me to find joyfulness, or at the very least, a sense of adventure, in every moment. Lastly, and most prominently of all, my experiences working with the 2nd and 3rd grade students at the school taught me a great deal about myself, both as an educator and as a person. While I fully expected to have the opportunity to facilitate meaningful learning in our classroom, I was surprised by how much I learned myself about classroom management, about teaming up with my fellow teachers, and most importantly, about fostering a secure and compassionate environment for every single child under my care. I feel unfathomably blessed to find such immense joy in using my passions and abilities to impact the lives of children. For instance, seeing my kiddos' eyes light up with exhilaration as we traveled by bus to their very first field trip was enough to bring a tear to my eye. And that certainly was not the only tear shed over leaving those 23 sweet, smiling faces to return home to the States. I decided to participate in the study abroad endeavor in order to see if I'm truly cut out for teaching English abroad in the future. And I'm pleased to say that while I still have a plethora of areas that require improvements, I feel as though I was made just for this very task. I'm exceptionally grateful to Dr. Neshba, Dr. Bryan, Peter, and all of the other Fightin' Texas Aggies for joining me on this voyage. Perhaps one day I'll be the one welcoming a team of TLAC teachers to San Miguel.